From the Triathlon Deb's YouTube channel. Today I have got the day off to do a long ride. Doesn't really look like I'm going to do a long ride, does it? Because it's snowing. Do you think I should do a long ride, Amelia? No. No. What should I do instead?
Go on Zwift.
Go on Zwift. Okay, we're going to have a snowball fight.
Snowball in the face. You alright?
So instead of doing a long ride, I'm going to end up having a snowball fight on the way to school. Who's going to win the snowball fight, Amelia?
Me.
Ah! Right in my head. Come on then. Let's get going to school. This is the reality of being a working triathlon mum. I had some random days of annual leave left that I need to take before the end of March. So I booked this day off several weeks ago to go out and do a long ride. As you can see, I'm not going to get a long ride done. Mark's working at the weekend doing some pressure washing jobs, so I haven't got the option of doing a long ride at the weekend. And also, to be fair, there is snow forecast right up until the weekend. So today is my long ride day, so I just need to get on with it. So we're off and running the 4 horseman route, 55 miles, 7,000 feet of ascent. I hate climbing, I'm rubbish on hills. That's why I've been avoiding this route for the last 2 years. But now's the time to do it. It's getting straight down to it, even within the first mile. We've got 7 to 11% climbing. This is just going to be super steady for me. It's probably going to end up being about a 4-hour ride. If I was doing a 4-hour ride outside at this time of year, that'd involve a coffee stop. So I'm at home. So because I can, after 2 hours, and I'm not racing it, I'm going to get off, can have a wee, make myself a cup of coffee, maybe get a snack, stretch my legs a bit, and then get back on and do the next 2 hours. I've got the Team Oxygenaddict podcast ready to go. It is Ironman training, how to progress from winter training to race specific preparation. I need to now be making that transition from the slow steady winter based miles into some strength specific riding and running. So I'm going to watch that podcast and see what tweaks I need to make to my training plan, and then I can plan the next month or so what I'm going to do. So it's head down, keep going this morning. I seem to have acquired a jersey on Zwift. I've got no idea what it's for. I've just spent the last 10 minutes writing an email, so I wasn't really concentrating on what I was doing. It looks like some kind of mountains jersey. I'll have to Google later on what that's for. So we are 1 hour in, done 15.5 miles, got another 40 miles to go. I am a little bit concerned that I've only done 1,000 feet of the 7,000 feet of ascent in that first 15 miles, which means in the next 40 miles I've got 6,000 feet of ascent to do still. So I'm an hour into my Team Oxygenaddict podcast. In fact, I think it's nearly finished. What I have learnt is that I shouldn't be doing a 4-hour long ride at this stage in the season, but it's a bit late for that. So what I should have been doing over winter is more power sessions. I have been doing quite a few power sessions, but I shouldn't be doing those long rides at this stage. Should be limiting them to about 30 miles, which is okay, you know. It's only like the last couple of weeks where I've done a couple of 45-mile ones, and then this long 4-hour one today. But what I will do for the next couple of weeks is just knock those long easy sessions down a bit and make sure that I'm putting in an extra power session on the bike and limiting my long ride on the bike, my long easy ride, to 30 miles. But this is still a learning curve for me. Thought I was doing the right training. Turns out that I just need to tweak it a little bit. Right then, so earlier on I was getting a bit worried that I'd still got 4,000 feet of ascent to do in the last 30 odd miles. And now I am worried because I've realised why. Didn't realise that the 4 horseman route has got Alpe de Zwift in it. So Alpe de Zwift, I can't remember how much elevation it is. It's probably about the next 4,000 feet of ascent. It is 20 sectors, 20 or 21 sectors, 21 sectors long, of just a hill. It's, yeah, it's pretty awful. I'm not very fast up it. I think it takes me about an hour and a half to get up Alpe de Zwift. So on the basis I'm 2.25 hours in, I think this could well be over 4 hours, this ride. I've just had a little break. So I am 30 miles in, 26 miles to go. So I've only done 3,000 feet of ascent. And I think it's just under 7,000 ascent, so I literally do have 4,000 feet of ascent to go. I've just made myself a cup of tea and put it in my bottle. It's the first time I've ever done that. So it's what the pros do apparently. I'm only on sector 21 of Alpe de Zwift, so it goes backwards. The first sector's quite long. The sectors in themselves generally aren't that long. They range from 0.012 of a mile through to just under a mile, which doesn't sound very long at all. But when you've got so much elevation in it, at the minute I'm riding at 10% elevation, for I think it's probably average for this sector. And the sector's taking me 10 minutes. So yeah, so although they're not that long, they do take forever, but it is quite nice having the sectors there just to break it up a little bit. This is absolutely awful, and a really good example of how being extrinsically motivated makes you do something really stupid during a recovery week. So I just decided, I picked a route that I knew was hard, that I was adamant I wanted to get done, and it is absolutely killing me. So I've done 34 miles in 3.25 hours because it's got 5,000 feet of ascent in it. I am 4.82 miles into Alpe de Zwift. So I've still got 3 miles left of Alpe de Zwift, 6 sectors. And I've been going for nearly 70 minutes up Alpe de Zwift. This is meant to be a recovery week with a really easy ride. Getting there, 400 feet to the top of Alpe de Zwift. I'm absolutely shot. Completely had enough of this ride. And I've still got 18 miles to go. But here we go. Here's the arch. Right then. We get a spin of the wheel for a freebie. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. of gloves. I've just cycled for an hour and 45 minutes up here. You give me a pair of gloves as the reward. Absolutely taking the mickey. Once we get to this little bit here, then we're downhill for 8 miles. Here we go. Right. I'm not going to lie, at this point I'm going to stop pedalling and I'm going to freewheel the whole of the 8 miles back down, because that's what's happened in the real world. If I was out on the road and I'd gone up the top and worked really hard like that for an hour and a half, I'd then get to coast downhill and not put any power into it. What it does mean, as you'll see in the top left hand screen, is that I'm going to average 0 watts for probably the next 20 minutes, or maybe a bit less, 15 minutes. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes me to get down. So what, 3 hours, say 3 hours 52. And you can see when you stop pedalling on Zwift, it gets you, and you get, I think it's, if you get over 30 miles an hour, it gets you into this super tuck aero position, which you can only get in if you don't pedal. But that makes you go faster downhill. And as you can see, I'm doing 40 miles an hour. Sprint sector coming up here. 4 hours 40 minutes into the ride. Not a cat in hell's chance that I'm sprinting. I don't care if it's only 1,000 feet. Absolutely not sprinting. Don't give a damn where I come. Is that a personal record? Obviously not done that sprint in a long time. Here's me, I'm not sprinting. 22nd out of 123. That's not a bad attempt for a sprint after 4 hours 40 worth of training. Oh, I want to stop. Ah, here's the arch. Oh. Hello. Oh, literally just done. Jesus, that was not funny. I'm gonna save that. I am done. That was absolutely awful. This is meant to be a recovery week. I've just done my hardest ever session on Zwift. Not that far under 5 hours on it. I feel awful. Yeah, I feel sick. My legs are dead. Stupid idea. This is where my stubbornness just kicks in, and once I've decided I'm going to do something, yeah, I just keep going. I can see my mum watching this, shaking her head at me, going, "What are you doing?" I can see Hannah and Steve watching this, going, "What are you doing in a recovery ride?" I can only hope that that 5 hours nearly of suffering pays off when I'm on the run 5 hours into my half Ironman later on in the year, but who knows. Yeah, I need to go find some food now. I had nowhere near enough calories to eat. I burnt 1,700 odd. I've probably only had about 500, 600 in, if that. So yeah, very poorly devised training plan. A good example of how not to do it.
All showered and changed and a bit less grumpy after my horrendous Zwift ride. please join me for next week's episode, which is going to be a brick session in preparation for my sprint race that I've got coming up. So that's going to be a bike run session with a run through of transitions. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and join me for next week's session.